Okay, Jeff, I'm going to throw it to you in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we're going to be talking about all things creativity with a creative genius. That's just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I have always admired creativity. You have analytical people and you have creative people. I happen to be blessed with some creativity myself, but I pale in comparison to my next guest, Alex Craig. He's with Triple Play Digital. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
Well, you and I met just the other day, and I was so impressed with what you've accomplished in your young life that I had to bring you on the show. I want to start by asking you about your, I'm going to call you a spud stud, because,
okay.
because he had a stunt that you did with a potato that really went viral. We talk about that.
Yeah, sure thing. So about 5 years ago, I started a company where you could mail people a message written on a potato. Sounds like a really incredibly stupid idea and really simple, but the whole thing completely took off. We started selling thousands of potatoes a month and ended up getting on Shark Tank, Ellen Show, CNBC, and a few other places.
And just to put an explanation point on that, we've got a clip. Let's go ahead and roll that now.
There's a website called Potato Parcel, and for $10, they'll write a message on a potato and mail it to whoever you want. Well, whoever thought of this, I think, is baked. I mean, can't you just have your own potato and write your own message and send it? But anyway.
Explain it again. So, Potato Parcel is a brand new way of sending anyone you know a custom message written on a potato.
Do y'all hear me? This man is getting rich off potatoes.
He doesn't even have to cook them.
This August, we did over $20,000.
Kid is making money. It's like the people that came up with the pet rock.
That's right.
It's just, I think it's brilliant.
How much money have you made with potatoes? Because I only think of these to eat.
Made over $60,000 in about 4 months.
Some sort of weird way we've had an impact on somebody's life, even just for a split second. If they open their mail and they say, what the heck is this? It's a potato. And suddenly, somebody in Dallas, Texas can have that impact on somebody's life. That's crazy.
Alex, absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
It's almost hard to follow that act, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like, my big thing I'm known for is the potato story.
But you have this digital agency, and you really help innovate and come up with creative ideas for clients now. So when clients turn to you, are they coming in saying, Alex, I have no idea what I want, just make me look great, or how does that work?
So typically we reach out to these clients and we always start with the potato story and say, look, we took this stupid idea and made it into a viral success, and in today's kind of digital economy, everyone's always looking for eyeballs and views and clicks, and so everyone's spending all this money to get traffic to their website, and so we kind of come in and come up with creative ways to do that. And make sure that everyone kind of hears about their brand and story. You're working with some pretty big brands. I don't know if you're allowed to mention them on air. Go ahead and rattle off a couple. Sure. Some of the bigger clients we work with is like Lionsgate Entertainment. So we did some promotions for like John Wick 3, Hellboy, Knives Out. We work with Sony and their music team, and then a couple others, AT&T, NFL Sunday Ticket, and a few others like that.
Awesome. And we're going to show another clip, but I want you to kind of set this up, because we're going to see Gilbert Gottfried, the famous actor.
Yeah.
Tell us how you'd like to describe this clip we're about to see.
Yeah, so one of our clients is Cameo. They do these video shout-outs from celebrities, and so they were looking for a way to kind of amplify their brand and get a lot of awareness online about it. So we looked at reddit.com as an opportunity to do that, and they have celebrities that do Ask Me Anythings, and so we were having the users on Reddit ask questions, and then the celebrity was answering them on video in a personalized way, and then putting all these clips together in a YouTube series. And so we filmed 6 episodes with Gilbert Gottfried, Gary Busey, Kate Flannery from The Office, and a few others, but it's been a lot of fun.
Outstanding. Without further ado, let's go ahead and roll that clip.
This is Gilbert Gottfried. Hi, this is Gilbert Gottfried on Reddit, and I'm gonna be answering all your questions, no matter how insulting, depraved, or stupid they are. I will be answering them, so go ahead. Okay, this one's from Perich. Of all the roles you've had, which one are you most proud of or enjoyed the most doing? Well, there's a lot of them that I really like, but I guess if I'm pushed against the wall, I don't know why you push me against the wall to answer this question, but if I'm pushed against the wall, I'll say the parrot in Aladdin. Well, that and the business manager in Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Wow, that is so cool. Can creativity be taught? I mean, if somebody doesn't have it, can they learn it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just one of those things of just trying to come up with as many different ideas as possible and then taking action to build something. I think what we've done really well is that we've had a lot of failures in the past, and when we failed, it's just, you know, given us kind of the ability to try something else and try something again and again until something works, and then kind of learning from your failures and seeing what is going to make something successful.
Have you always been creative when you go back into your childhood or high school years? I mean, did you already have that gene?
I think so. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a writer, and so I used to write like a lot of books, and eventually just realized if this thing doesn't get published, then what's the point of even writing? It's like if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it even make a sound? And then when I was in high school, I was in like a rock and roll band, but we weren't very good. So I wanted to be a rock star, and I just loved making stuff and making music. And then when I got into college, that's when I really started getting into building websites and just this idea of like how an interactive experience online can be art in itself. But the thing that we were doing with websites we were building, we didn't know how to get people to it. Yes. So I started getting focused on how do you drive traffic, how do you get kind of viral awareness, and that eventually led to the whole potato thing.
Yeah, and you and I met through a mutual friend, an attorney, and you were telling me before the show that you're really kind of trying to brand her in a unique way. Sure. Talk about that, because attorneys are kind of a button-down, serious profession. Can you get too creative? I mean, how do you walk that line?
Yeah, that's a good question. So with Rocio's company, RC Family Lawyers, we are really taking an approach of really being technology first and coming up with ways to automate and streamline a lot of the processes so that the clients have more face time with Rocio, and just making it such an easy process for them to either get a divorce or deal with child support or child custody issues.
Yes.
And if it's okay, I'd love to drop the link as a plug
for
rcfamilylawyers.com. Excuse me, it's rcfamilylawyer.com.
Yeah, and she's creative and outgoing, and I think you really are showcasing her personality, which is so important, because when you're going through a divorce, you're spending a lot of time with somebody that you really want to know, like, and trust, and I applaud you for what you're doing there. We're going to put on the screen some of your claims to fame, because I can't believe that you've had all of this in such a short period of time. You're a young man. Can I ask your age?
I'm 30. I just
30. That's amazing. That's
December.
amazing.
Yeah.
So if somebody's watching this and saying, yeah, I probably need somebody like Alex to come into my life and give me that little creative jolt that I need, how do they know when they need somebody like you?
It really just depends on what they're looking for. I think what we really focus on is audience growth and business growth, and so what we like to do is just work with companies that are looking for that need. I think every company is constantly looking for ways to grow and looking for ways to make a mark within their market, and we just like to sit down with them, and essentially what we do is put together a concept brief of all the
Yes.
kind of off-the-wall ideas and new thinking that they might be able to utilize, or technologies they could use to kind of amplify themselves.
What are some brands that you admire? I mean, I think about the Geico commercials, and they're just everything from the lizard to the different parodies that they're doing. I mean, are there brands that you look to and say they've got it right?
I mean, not to sound too cliche, but Apple is such a great example. I think their Think Different campaign back in the 80s was so smart. It wasn't really talking about the computers themselves, and just the way that they leveraged these cultural icons into making this brand that could be completely different from just other computer companies.
Yeah, I agree with you. And for Apple, just even the customer experience going into the Apple Store, it's a whole experience. Right. That's wonderful. Well, we've just got a little bit of time left, so final thoughts for the audience. What would you like to leave them with?
Oh, final thoughts for the audience. I don't know. I guess a word of advice, or kind of some thinking about, again, if you want to create an idea or you want to do something big, you just need to get started. I think too many people have those ideas and they run into roadblocks and stop. And I think another thing is just people are afraid to fail, and that kind of stops them from even beginning. But it's really, again, all about the journey and the process to get you there. Eventually, the whole potato thing, we actually sold that website.
Did you?
Yeah, we don't operate it anymore. And that was kind of a goal from the beginning, was trying to get to the point where we could sell it. And looking back, it was just the entire process and the stories we got to tell along the way that made it really valuable more than anything.
Outstanding. Well, you've been such an inspiration. We're going to put the website up to end this segment. tripleplaydigital.com is the website. Alex Craig, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jeff.
You bet. And that's it for now. We'll see you next time.